Afternoon, everyone. This is my reading journal for this week. So, the three important or interesting ideas that I talked about. The first one was the concept of the Crusades, and that the Pope announced that they were going to try to take back their territory, and the fact that that started to be a thing. The second one was that there was this big controversy called the investiture controversy about paying off church leaders to get things done their way, and then also lay individuals appointing bishops and priests who had no right really to be religious leaders. The third thing was the major tension between the authority of the church and the authority of the political leaders. There seemed to be this push and pull about who was going to be ultimately in charge. Was it going to be the emperor or the king or the queen, or was it going to be the pope? And it seems to kind of go back and forth a little bit. The connection that I talked about was on page 388 of the Irvin text, The History of World Christian Movement. And actually, I pretty much took everything this week out of this text rather than the other two, just because it had more stuff that interested me. But on page 388, it talks about clergy being vassals of secular individuals. And we've been talking a lot in my Old Testament class about like the Assyrians coming in and taking over countries, and then the country is having to pay tributes to the Assyrians and having to give them all these things as vassals of the larger kingdom. So it's just a concept, I guess, that started way back in the Hebrew Bible and has continued ever since. An experience or emotion. On page 392 and 393, it talks about the split in the church between the East and the West, and it seems like it really started over whether they were using leaven or unleavened bread, which seems like such a silly thing to fight over, but they did. And I kind of feel the pain because I am shepherding the group in my town whose church left the United Methodist Church, and so they kind of feel like this was a silly thing to fight over. Like, shouldn't we love all people and treat all people the same? Like, why are we fighting over this? So I related to that fight that splits a church up. Let's see. The quote that I used was, popes exercised this authority to declare that anyone who undertook the arduous journey of a crusade would be released from punishment by God in the afterlife for all sins that they had committed, a concept known as indulgence. So, like, I literally wrote in the margins, seriously, under this, that they were getting people to fight because they were, like, forgiving all of their sins. Like, if they died, they were going to go to heaven and, no qualms about it or whatever. I don't know. That just stunned me. Okay, a couple of the questions that I had. One question was with regards to Pope Gregory excommunicating King Henry, and I just wondered, is that even a thing that we could be fearful of in this day? I mean, of course, it would have to be a Catholic ruler for the Pope to excommunicate them, but is there anything that a political leader could do that would cause a Pope to do this in today's world? Or are there other denominations that have ever done this when a political leader does something that they totally disagree with or that's totally wrong, and they're like, you're out, you're done? I'm just curious. And then on page 393 of Irvin, it states that however unsuccessful subsequent encounters proved to be, hope for eventual restoration of communion continued to live on both sides of the controversy. So again, talking about this whole communion, unleavened, leavened bread thing, that there was still this hope that they were going to get past this controversy and come back together. And I just wonder, we have the total split now, and then we have all these denominations broke off of the Catholic Church. And so I wonder, do we even have that hope anymore, that we can all come together and worship as one church body? I don't know. So hope you have a good weekend, and talk to everyone on Monday.